Yeah. Mhm. You know, this concept of the receipt, yes. Most items are not returnable, yes, because you as the consumer actually don't have any rights to have your money back without a receipt. Oh, she never acknowledged receipt of a copy of this order. She never acknowledged any of the restraint provisions. Oh, you arrested me multiple times for violating it. Without her, yes, the petitioner acknowledging anything in it. Now she could file a 2 count criminal complaint in Jefferson County. Now I'd like to ask her, as I said, as wanting to call witness in my own defense. Yes. Mhm. Was there some reason that you didn't acknowledge receipt of a copy of the order? You're going to put me in a mental facility. I know you are because you're going to cover up your crime. And there's not a state in the United States that can sue her for you issuing a protection order. Right. Where she does not have to acknowledge anything about it. Now, the state legislature, known as Washington State, there are certain prohibited powers that you don't have. You don't have the right to impair the obligation of contracts, any law of obligation. Yes. Then the granting of any title of nobility. Did you decide my wife was a royal family, as in a queen that could not be prosecuted? Sued. Has no penalty of perjury. She could not do anything wrong in the eyes of any state of the United States. If anybody looked at this and wanted to sue her for any fraudulent statement of me being 10 feet tall, yes, yes. Or that she said, well, this order was issued in accordance with the full faith and credit provisions of the VAWA, but then you look and she doesn't acknowledge receipt of that. She didn't acknowledge receipt of me being restrained from going to her place of work. Yes. She didn't acknowledge receipt of me having to have a mental health evaluation. She didn't acknowledge receipt of any of it. You decided to grant a title of nobility to a citizen, yes, that has immunity from the penalty of perjury. It's kind of like being the Queen of the United States of America. Yeah. And, any state says, well, you actually had some fraudulent statements on this protection order. Yes. You said that the respondent received actual notice in the yes. But I didn't. I didn't acknowledge receipt of that. You said that the respondent was a credible threat. And she's like, no, I didn't acknowledge receipt of that. And you said he was an intimate. Nope, I didn't say that either. I'm sorry, every state of the United States, I'm the queen, and there is no penalty of perjury because I'm the title of nobility that the state of Washington decided to give to my wife. Now, this Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States, and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or any particular state. Now, the United States of America, as a federal government, right, might have said, well, we'd like to sue the petitioner. Yes. For the fraudulent statement of saying that Paul C. Budnick, the citizen, is 10 feet tall. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm sorry, United States of America. Washington State decided to prejudice any claim you might have against the petitioner. Yes, for anything in a court order that might be untrue or not correct. Now, let's say that a state decided that they would prejudice any and all claims of the United States of America or any particular state, yes, so that they could not actually sue a party to a court case, yes, because she did not acknowledge receipt of anything that was in the court order. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that multi-billion dollar. Now it's the United States of America. The state of Washington decided that they They wouldn't do what Congress said. They wouldn't protect the rights of the respondent, and they would issue court orders where the petitioner couldn't personally be liable for anything that was said. Yes, yes, yes. And these needful rules and regulations would not be enforced as respecting the territory of Washington State before they were incorporated. Yes. And they would prejudice. Nothing in this court shall be so construed as to prejudice any claim of the United States against any party in any court case. You decided as a court that you would not require the actual acknowledgement of the receipt of the petitioner. Yes, you wouldn't require her to appear in court. And the United States of America can't sue her. Now we're looking more at a multi-hundred-billion-dollar day because the United States of America cannot sue the petitioner for anything being false. Yes, yes, yes. Now, when I get to suing the United States of America, yes, for allowing the state of Washington right now. Oops, I'm sorry, state of Washington right now. You have issued a court order. Yes, yes. Where there's not an individual in the United States of America that can actually sue the petitioner for anything being not true, or not correct. Now, this penalty of perjury that you thought wasn't important, it turns out that you, have prejudiced any claims of the United States or any particular state. That would be all 50 of them. Because you decided you cannot believe this. Yes, I know.